People call it laziness. When you delay starting something, when you leave projects unfinished, when you feel excited at first, but then suddenly lose the drive to continue. From the outside, it looks like you just lack discipline. But what if that's not the real story? What if the reason you hesitate, stall, or avoid starting at all is not because you're lazy, but because your mind is quietly trying to protect something much deeper, your identity? Psychology shows that human beings are not only motivated by rewards or success, we are also deeply motivated by protecting the way we see ourselves. Your brain wants to preserve the story you believe about who you are, and sometimes the safest way to protect that story is to avoid situations that might challenge it. So, if you've ever wondered why you keep procrastinating on things that actually matter to you, here are several psychological reasons that might explain what's really happening. Number 1. You're protecting the idea of your potential. Many people grow up hearing things like, "You're smart, you have so much potential, you could do anything if you tried." At first, this sounds encouraging, but over time, it creates a hidden pressure. Your identity slowly becomes tied to the idea of being someone who could succeed, not someone who has succeeded yet, but someone with potential. And strangely, that identity can feel safer than reality. Because the moment you fully commit to something, you risk discovering your limits. Research in psychology shows that people who were praised mainly for their intelligence as children often become more afraid of effort later in life. Effort introduces uncertainty. If you try your best and it doesn't work, what does that say about you? So your brain creates a protective shortcut. It delays starting. It procrastinates. It tells you you'll do it later, because as long as you haven't fully tried, your potential remains untouched. And in a strange way, that keeps your identity safe. Number 2. You may fear losing the version of yourself you believe in. Many people secretly carry an internal image of who they are supposed to be. Maybe you see yourself as creative or intelligent or someone who should be successful by now. But real-world action challenges those images. For example, imagine someone who believes they're naturally talented at writing. As long as they keep the idea in their head, it feels true. But the moment they start writing seriously, they might face criticism or rejection or slow progress. Suddenly, the identity feels fragile. Research indicates that people tend to avoid situations that threaten their self-concept, not because they lack ability, but because protecting identity feels psychologically safer than risking damage to it. So, procrastination can become a defense mechanism, not against work, but against identity loss. Number 3. You might associate effort with judgment. For some people, the real fear is not failure, it's being seen trying. Think about how different it feels when someone fails after clearly trying their best versus failing while appearing casual or uninterested. Trying publicly makes you vulnerable. It shows that something matters to you, and if it doesn't work out, others can see it. Research in psychology on self-presentation shows that people often protect their image by avoiding situations where effort and failure might be visible at the same time. So instead of trying and risking judgment, the mind finds another option: delay, distraction, endless preparation. From the outside, this looks like laziness, but internally, it's often a strategy to avoid social embarrassment. Number 5. Your brain may be protecting the comfort of the familiar. Even if your current situation feels frustrating, it's still predictable, and the human brain prefers predictability. Psychology research shows that people are naturally biased toward maintaining the status quo, even when change could improve their lives. Why? Because the familiar feels safe. New paths introduce uncertainty, and uncertainty activates anxiety. So your brain sometimes slows you down, not to sabotage you, but to keep you within the boundaries of what feels known and manageable. Again, this looks like laziness from the outside, but inside it's actually caution, a system designed to protect stability. And when you see these patterns clearly, something important begins to change. You stop calling yourself lazy. You start realizing that your mind has been trying to protect you, your identity, your emotions, your sense of safety. But protection and growth don't always move in the same direction. Growth requires stepping into situations where the outcome is uncertain, where your identity might evolve, where you might discover new strengths or new limits. And that's not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's simply part of being human. So, if you've been feeling stuck lately, try looking at yourself with a little more understanding. Maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you're someone who cares deeply about who you are and what your life could become. And sometimes that kind of sensitivity creates hesitation, but it also creates depth, awareness, and the ability to change once you understand what's really happening. Because once you see the pattern, you're no longer controlled by it. If this video helped you understand yourself a little bit better, make sure to subscribe for more psychology insights about personality, behavior, and the hidden patterns shaping your life. And remember, sometimes what looks like weakness on the surface is actually a sign that your mind has been trying to protect something important all along.